The views and opinions expressed by Pete Moxley and Poophead of the Week do not represent the views of the staff and DJs of 89X, WLNX FM. And now the poop quote of the day, brought to you by Dan Quayle. I love California. I practically grew up in Phoenix. 111 million Americans watched Super Bowl 45 last Sunday, and at least everyone has one big complaint about something. If it's not about how non-competitive the game was, it was probably about the commercials and how first graders don't understand that sucking on fingers for Doritos is like soft-core fast food finger fellatio. And how fans complained they couldn't sit on the roof of Cowboy Stadium. Or how straight men at halftime watched the Puppy Bowl instead of Slash. Or for Christina Aguilera's Star-Mangled Banner. Or for me not getting invited to a Super Bowl party. Bet you can't guess in 2 seconds what fired me up. 1, 2. I would pick Brett Baer or Greta Van Susteren to have a straightforward interview with the leader of the free world on any day of the week. Even on a day when political divide and pop are supposed to take a backseat to a football game. And as I implied last week, there's almost an estranged connection between the two. Like Lindsay Lohan in Violating Probation. Bill O'Reilly predicted his interview with President Obama would garner the largest audience ever for an interview in U.S. TV history. The record is 70 million viewers. O'Reilly only attracted 17.3 million, just 15% of the total audience for the Super Bowl. This wasn't another feeble attempt for Obama to make Tea Party conservatives believe he will move to the center, and this wasn't Bill O's attempt to ease back and kiss up to the only man in the country who has more power than him. Bill could get away with it, but a lady's already sued him for trying to do more than ease back. He did it live! It's not uncommon for journalists to tackle tough issues with newsmakers. But when it comes down to choosing a winner of a Super Bowl, and it's the President of the United States, perhaps the biggest football fan in the world, and his team isn't in the game, you don't grill him and say that he doesn't care about it. He just about shared the sentiments of every non-Packer fan, and one Jet fan I know personally, in this state. I'm surprised you even know the words blitz and coverage, Bill. When you played college football, you were a lowly punter. There's only one defense for a punter. Kill him. 17 million Americans tuned themselves into the Fox pregame show at 3:45 p.m. last Sunday, either to throw sledgehammers through their used television sets or to ask themselves why a man who has wished for newspapers to fail, a man who finds the news media to be corrupt because it's apparently too left-wing, and a man who sends his peeping Tom stalker producer out to interview newsmakers who have the smarts to stay off his program, why a man like this, who is the name and face of a cable news network, would bother to do a sit-down chat with the President of the United States on national television like a news journalist or a news reporter who reads the evening news. No, Bill, there is no on position for your genius switch. Just a pot, a kettle, and hypocrisy. Bill O'Reilly, author, columnist, commentator, TV personality. Not necessarily stuff a news person wouldn't consider trying out. Poophead of the news.